Hey Sagittarius, welcome to your reading for April. Let's jump in and see what April has in store for you guys. Messages for Sagittarius. I hope you all are doing well. Messages for my Saggies. We have recognition. Someone deserves to be recognized for all that they do. Okay, Saggies. So this could be applicable to you yourself, where you're, needing to have some, recognition for all of the time and the energy and the effort that you've been putting forth recently, whatever that may mean, whether it's, in your workspace, whether you've been just kind of, pursuing a new college degree or certificate, or you have been just knocking it out and doing great things at home with your family. So, whatever this is, this may be indicative of the fact that you may need to be in recognition of some things that you've been doing and doing a really good job on. You've been working hard and putting a lot of time and energy into something. This may also be a situation where credit is due to someone else. Maybe you have been, pursuing a new career and it's extended your work hours, and maybe you've had help from friends or family in picking up your kids, getting them to school, picking them up, doing their homework with them, and maybe they need to, be recognized for all of the energy and time and effort that they've put forth on your behalf out of love and care for you. So is this where it may be, Saggy? You're going to know where this energy belongs. I have shadow and light here. Okay, so to me, this could also be indicative of the fact that this would be inapplicable to you. Scenario would be that maybe you're falling into a little bit of a shadow where you're not really wanting to be recognized for all that you do, but you are deserving of being recognized. So this may mean that maybe you're shy to put yourself out there. Maybe you're shy to, put yourself in a position where you're acknowledging the fact that, you did this work, you put in this time, you put in this energy, and, just maybe having some, issues with really kind of feeling worthy of this recognition. Okay. So this can dip into that little bit of a shadow aspect where it kind of stems from a little bit of low self-worth, self-esteem, and self-confidence issues. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you, struggle with this all of the time, but what it can mean is that, these shadow aspects can come into play when we've been putting our time and energy out there, usually in a way that we're just doing because either it's the right thing to do or because it's something that we're passionate about, okay? And that we just don't really need recognition for it. But this is just saying, hey, you are deserving, you are worthy, and you should be recognized for the time and the energy and the efforts that you're putting forth. I have here shaman, the ancient healing wisdom coming out for you. So this tells me that you might be a healer of some kind, a light worker. Maybe you have, your own tarot channel, maybe you have a platform, or maybe you do other kinds of healing in other ways. Maybe you're an ER doctor or nurse, or maybe you work at a school and you bring healing to kids. Maybe you're a counselor or a teacher. So this can take, a role in many different forms. Apply it where it belongs, again, Sagittarius. But what it's basically meaning is that there's something that you're doing, have done, or been doing that is really significant in changing the lives of others. So you may not even realize the impact that you're having on others. It could be more impactful than you realize. Okay, so it's time for you to take note of what you've put forth and the changes that you've evoked in other people in positive ways. Let's keep going, Saggies. See what else is coming for the month of April. But so far, so good. You're putting good work out there. Congratulations to you. I have a few out here. I have cleansing waters. I have discovering truth. And I have stepping into power. Okay, so again, this is kind of just going over what I had just said, which is basically saying that there's something that you're doing out in the world, out in the community, whether it's in a virtual platform on your social medias, on YouTube, or it's out in real life where you're, impacting people in a positive way, in real life experiences. Either way, this is saying that you are getting to a place where you're clearing out some old shadow aspects of yourself, where maybe you doubted your abilities to do these things. Maybe you doubted that you were a light worker or a healer of some kind. Maybe you were doubting that you're an empath. Maybe you're even doubting the fact that, you're in some kind of leadership role. Maybe to you, it's just kind of like, well, this is just what I do. I, love to take care of others and love and nurture them and bring healing to them. And this is just what I do because it's the right thing to do. And honestly, Saggy, that just tells me all the more how wonderful and beautiful you are and how deserving you are of this recognition. No wonder it's coming forth in your message today for the month of April. But to be honest with you, I'm thinking that this extends farther back in the present and will continue to extend into the future. Okay. So open up to the fact and acknowledge that you are a person of influence to others in a very, very positive way. And there's nothing wrong with receiving a little bit of recognition for what you do. Okay. So stand loud, stand proud, Saggies, and wave your flag. Okay. Because you deserve to be recognized for all that you do. Let's take a look at the overall energy for April for Sagittarius, please. Overall energy for Saggy. All right, I have Temperance and I have the Two of Swords again. So this is an energy in the overall energy where there is some kind of balance that needs to take place here, okay? A little bit of patience, a little bit of balance, but this is telling me here that there's some kind of energy that's creating a block within you, okay? So especially when you are a healer, whether you recognize or, align yourself with being a healer of some kind, again, this aspect of people, light workers and healers takes on many hats, many roles, all different kinds, some of which we just aren't even used to recognizing as that, but they 100% are. Even people of uniform, police officers, emergency responders, they are definitely light workers and healers, okay? So whatever it is that you're putting out there, there's an inadvertent block that you're creating in the flow of your ability to heal because you're blocking yourself from this recognition, okay? Like I said, this usually stems from something that, has to do with self-worth, self-esteem, and self-confidence, whatever that may be. Maybe you're a little bit shy and you don't want people to see you. Maybe you don't feel very confident about maybe your looks or the way you speak, or maybe public speaking you're not really good at and you feel like you stumble over your words a lot. Whatever this is, it's just saying that there's a block here that's saying nope. And it's just kind of creating a little bit of some energy blockages here that could be hindering something. Let's go a little further into the reading and maybe I can get some more clarity on what's happening here, Saggies, okay? Let's take a look at the recent past. I have the Seven of Cups. Okay, when the Seven of Cups is coming out, this is telling me that again, there's a little bit of an illusion here. There's a little bit of confusion, perhaps, maybe a little bit of confusion about what role you're playing, how you're affecting people, what you're meant to do. And maybe you're in a place where even here in the recent past, you're even wondering, is anything that I'm doing even being impactful at all? Is all of this time and energy that I'm spending, say, feeding the homeless, are they even recognizing the fact that, they're being helped and assisted, but are they appreciating it? Is what I'm doing truly making a difference? Or is this just kind of something I'm doing and, it's not even really having the positive impact that I'm intending? So there might be something here that's creating a little bit of an illusion, okay? This likely has to do with that, self-esteem, self-worth, or that blocking that recognition thing that's happening here, which is creating a little bit of an illusion for you. Basically, this illusion is likely that you're not deserving of this recognition, and that this is just what humans should do, on a basic human level, okay? But that's really not true at all, too, Saggy. You definitely should be okay with taking some credit for what you do. You're very impactful. Not everyone makes the choice to be giving to others. A lot of people just choose because it's easier to just kind of focus on themselves, okay? So it takes a really beautiful soul and a kind heart to really open up and give willingly to others in good faith, okay? Let's take a look at the present energies, Saggies, and see what's happening here. Present for Sagittarius. I have the Two of Pentacles coming out here, and this is telling me that there is a need to regain a sense of balance. So whatever it is that you're kind of blocking here is creating a little bit of a stagnant energy. It's creating a little bit of an in and out energy. So like I had made an example of before, you're kind of wondering, is anything that I'm doing really making a difference? Is picking up the trash on the side of the road in my neighborhood or in my local park or on the freeway even making an impact? Is this even making a difference? Because I'm really taking time out of my day to give extra, to the community. And, I'm just not really sure if the time and energy that I'm expending is actually worth it. So you might be kind of, pivoting back and forth a little bit in regards to whether your time and energy has been worth it and if it's still worth it to continue. Okay. Let's take a look at the near future for Sagittarius, please. Near future. I have the star coming out here in the near future. So again, this is very indicative of a very healing energy. Once you can kind of remove this block of confidence, self-worth, self-esteem, and know that you are deserving of being recognized, acknowledge yourself as being a leader, someone who is actually taking it upon themselves to maybe break trail and do what others are not doing and choosing to do. It's a very rare thing. To you, it may seem very normal. It's very normal to be a light worker and just think that like, well, everyone does this. What's so special about it? But the reality is not everyone does. Very few people actually do. And hopefully it will be something that when you're out there and you're taking this time for recognizing yourself and your efforts and what you do and allowing people to recognize you for these things and not hesitate to these things, and you believe in yourself, what you're going to then do is inspire others to do the same. They're going to say, hey, if that person can do it, so can I. I want to make change in this world. And I see them doing it and making a really positive impact. And that's inspiring me to do the same. Okay, so you don't even realize what kind of sphere of influence you actually have, even if it seems very small and day to day to you, it can be very significant to another. Okay, so never ever underestimate the impact that you have in your efforts. Okay, Sagittarius. So let's take a look at some advice for you. Advice for Sagittarius for April, please. I have the Three of Swords as your advice. Okay, so this may be that there is just a little bit of some heartbreak and things that have been a little bit disappointing and hurtful in your life. Maybe you're working with people that have very, very significant things that are going on in their life that are very, much impacting their world in a negative way. And, things are really hard for them right now. And it's very heartbreaking for you to see these people in need and not knowing what you can do for them, if anything at all. Or maybe you're attempting to take on the burdens of the world as your own, and it's weighing heavily on your heart. Okay, so this is very indicative of again, a very empathic light worker, and we just tend to take on the world as our own. We tend to want to hold everybody, love them, nurture them, and get them into a place where we can help them move through whatever challenges they have that are facing them right now. Okay, so but the key to doing this is to detach in a healthy way. Okay, this doesn't mean detaching in a cold, negative way where you're like, nope, can't help. Sorry, see you later. Close the door. Sorry, you're in need. But what this does mean is that you love and respect yourself enough that you are able to be a pillar of hope for these people, but you're also doing so in a way that you have healthy boundaries and a healthy sense of detachment in a way that isn't harming you, because you're no good to anyone if you're suffering and struggling yourself all the time. If you find yourself really struggling because you're sad all of the time and you're getting really low on energy and you're finding it hard to get out of bed and want to even volunteer or do what you're doing, then this is having a negative effect on you and you're inadvertently absorbing the problems of others. Okay, so it's kind of like a scenario in an airplane where they tell you that if you want to help others or you want to save your kids or whoever's next to you in those seats, you need to put the mask on yourself first, because you're no good to anybody if you pass out and run out of oxygen. So this is kind of along the same line, Sagittarius. This is saying that you need to make sure that you are not carrying the burdens of the world on as your own personal problems. We are not going to solve all the world's problems in as just one person. Okay, we are a drop in the ocean of others that then make that significant impact. We're all here to play our own part, and though you may think or feel like your part is small because it's not this grand giant whatever you have in your mind of being significantly impactful, doesn't mean that it's not as impactful. Okay, you may think it's very small. You may think it's meaningless. Like I said, the example of picking up trash, in a park in your neighborhood. Well, what if you pick up something that could have been very dangerous to a child that went to that park and went to play? And it was because you took the time to volunteer, while you went there to get fresh air, walk your dog, you went ahead and picked up trash while you were there. And there could have been something, really dangerous there that could have really harmed a child or a person or another animal. So, like I said, you just got to get to a place where you're very, very accepting of what it is that you do, the impact that you're having, and know that it is meaningful and it is impacting others in a positive way that you're intending for it too. Let's take a look at what's hidden here, Sagittarius. See if there's anything that you might be able to get clarity on, or something maybe that you're just not really seeing that'll help you. What's hidden? I have the King of Swords. So again, this is very significant in the fact that this is a leadership role. The King of Swords is very, very astute. Okay, so he knows what he's doing. He's very quick to make decisions. He's very honest, very reliable, very straight up, and also has really good morals and a very good head on his shoulders. Okay. So what's being hidden here is you're not even recognizing the fact that you actually are a very, significant person of excellent stature here who stands in honor and integrity. You're a pillar of hope and inspiration for others, and you're not even realizing that you are, okay? So this is what's hidden, Sagittarius. Take time to look in the mirror today and pat yourself on the back because, you are making a difference, no matter how small you think it is, okay? Let's take a look at what you don't see coming for the month of April, Sagittarius. What is Sagittarius not becoming? I have the Nine of Cups. Okay. What you don't see coming here in the month of April is that, this is your ultimate wish fulfillment. So you already know that whatever it is that you're doing is definitely a wish come true. And that doesn't mean that just because we're living our dream life or our dream job or helping others in a way that we've always dreamed of doing, it doesn't mean that it's not going to be challenging. And it doesn't mean that there's going to be good days and bad days. And it doesn't mean that we're not going to be tired and need to take a break. It means none of these things. We have all of these pillars of icons that we see in social media and on TV and that we grow up seeing and knowing. And they dress the hero as always having energy and being nonstop and always being ready and having their superhero outfit underneath their suit when they go to work, and then boom, there they are, right? Every call of the day, every minute of the day, they're just going, 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 and then they have a smile on their face. And that's just not true. Okay. So, you're overlooking what you're offering, and you're overlooking the fact that you're, maybe counting yourself out because of these other things. And maybe it's because of that negative influence that we've had in what a hero should look like. But a hero looks like you and me. Okay. All right, Saggies. So I hope you found this reading to be helpful. Everything looks good. Congratulations. Thank you for your time, your energy, your love, your service, your compassion. Continue to do what you're doing. It is making more of an impact than you realize. Until I see you again, Saggies, take care.